Dear students, today I will go for the second part of electrochemistry, and it is related to the electrolytic cell. And already I discussed what is the meaning of electrolytic cell and how it is different from the electrochemical cell. Now, when we go for the electrolytic cell, we should know about Faraday's law, and there are the two laws for electrolysis of Faraday. That is, number one is the Faraday's first law of electrolysis, and number two is the second law of electrolysis. So here, first of all, we will discuss about first law of electrolysis. That is Michael Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So what is the Michael Faraday's first law of electrolysis? The Michael Faraday's first law of electrolysis said that the amount of substance deposited or liberated. If it is a gas, then it should be liberated. If it is a solid, then it will be deposited at electrode is directly proportional to the charge flow through it. So what is the first law? First law said that the amount of substance deposited or liberated at electrode is directly proportional to the charge flow through it. That is according to the first law of electrolysis. Why? Let's say I am taking one of the electrolytic cell. This electrolytic cell consists some electrolyte and consists two electrode, let's say, and this two electrode is connected with battery, and here we are taking some electrolyte and we are taking the two electrode. There are the two types of electrode. One is called attacking electrode, another is your inert electrode. We will discuss about attacking electrode and inert electrode on later. Now let's say this is one electrode platinum and this is another electrode is also platinum. Let's say I have taken inert electrode. I will tell what is inert electrode and attacking electrode on later. But remember, what is the meaning of inert electrode? That means the electrode which itself do not undergo either oxidation or reduction but help for oxidation and reduction. Then we can say it is a inert electrode. Let's say we are taking some electrolyte here. I am taking fused NaCl or molten NaCl here. As this electrolyte is connected with the battery, and this battery, this part is a positive end, so this electrode is also a positive charge, and this is connected to the negative end, so this is the part of negative charge. Now we know if it is a positive, then the electron flow direction will be like this. So that indicates it releases electron and it is a part of oxidation. So as it releases electron, so it is a part of anode, because anode oxidation takes place. So in the electrolytic cell, anode is positive and it takes electron. That indicates that it accepts electron. So that is the reduction part, and here it is a negative, so that is a cathode. Already I told the cathode means the electrode at which reduction takes place, and anode means the electrode at which oxidation takes place. And what is the difference in electrolytic and electrochemical cell? Already we have discussed this part also. Now I told that here anode is positive and cathode is negative, but in electrochemical cell it is just opposite. Anode is negative and cathode is negative in electrolytic cell, but in electrochemical cell anode is negative, cathode is positive, and the reason already I have discussed in electrochemical cell part. So let's say I am taking the fused NaCl here. So when I am passing the electricity, this NaCl start to dissociate due to the electrolysis, and when it will be dissociate, it gives Na plus and Cl minus. Now this Cl minus is the negative charge, will be attracted by the positive end, so that is the anode. So it is attracted by the positive end, and this Cl minus undergoes reduction. So when this Cl minus undergoes reduction, it releases chlorine gas. So if I have to balance, this is 2 Cl minus and 2 electron. So here at anode the chlorine gas will be released, whereas at cathode what will happen? Cathode is here negative charge. So to the cathode the Cl minus migrates to the cathode, it is a negative charge. So Na plus will be migrate, and the Na plus accept electron due to the reduction and will be converted to sodium. So here sodium deposited, at the same time the chlorine gas start to release. from the anode. And here I told, according to the first law of electrolysis, the amount of substance deposited or liberated is directly proportional to the charge flow through it. So what is the meaning of it? So let's say here the chlorine gas start to release is W gram, and the amount of charge flow through it is Q. Then according to the first law, it indicates W should be proportional to Q, means amount of chlorine gas liberated is proportional to the charge flow through it. That does not mean that whatever may be the charge you will increase, the amount of substance deposited or liberated will be increased. It depends upon how much capacity of gas or substance will be liberated from the electrolyte. What is the maximum capacity? It depends upon it. And number two is that, remember, always when we will go for W is proportional to Q, that indicates that the amount of substance deposited or liberated is proportional to the charge flow through it. It always depends upon the equivalent mass. How? Let's say I want to tell about the chlorine gas. So if I want to tell about the chlorine gas, then the chlorine gas, I want to find out what is the equivalent mass of chlorine gas first. If I want to find out the equivalent mass of chlorine gas, that is the atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5 and valence is 1. So that is your 35.5. So that is the 35.5 is your equivalent mass of chlorine. That indicates that if you take 1 gram equivalent mass of chlorine, that is your 35.5 gram. And if the electrolytic cell has 100% efficiency, that indicates that if you pass 1 Faraday charge, already I told what is 1 Faraday, that is your 96500 coulomb. If you pass 1 Faraday charge, that is your 96500 coulomb, it has a capacity to deposit 35.5 gram chlorine gas, to liberate 35.5 gram of chlorine gas at a node, if it has a more efficiency. And this 1 Faraday charge passing, it can deposit this amount, but this amount should be present in electrolyte. If we are taking the, let's say we are taking the 1 mole NaCl, so this 1 mole NaCl consists of 23 gram of sodium and 35.5 gram of chlorine, and it has a 100% ionization capacity. So if the electrolyte has 100% efficiency, this chlorine gas which will be released is your 35.5 gram, because chlorine here present is 35.5 gram. But if you take 0.5 mole of NaCl and you are passing the 1 Faraday charge, then whatever may be the charge you will increase, it cannot deposit 35.5 gram of chlorine, because 0.5 mole of NaCl do not contain 35.5 gram of chlorine. So under that condition, we can say that the electrolyte can deposit maximum amount of substance depending upon the amount of substance present inside the electrolyte, number one, and number two is also the charge flow through it. And remember, if you decrease the charge amount, the amount of substance liberated or deposited is also decreases. So I can say W is proportional to Q. And if W is proportional to Q, then if I want to remove this proportional, then I can use a constant for it. What is the constant? This constant is your Z. So that implies I can write W is equal to ZQ. And what is Z? Z stands for electrochemical equivalent. Z stands for electrochemical equivalent. And what is the meaning of electrochemical equivalent? I can calculate from this. So this Z can be written as W by Q. So what is the meaning of W by Q? W by Q means that is the amount of substance deposited or liberated at electrode due to per coulombic charge, because it is your amount per coulombic charge. So I can say whatever may be the amount of substance deposited or liberated due to 1 coulomb charge is nothing but is your Z. So what is its unit? Its unit is gram per coulomb. Its unit is gram per coulomb. Now how to calculate the Z value? I told if you pass 1 Faraday charge, what is the amount of substance deposited? Now I am given one example, that is you can deposit equivalent mass of substance. That is, remember, if you pass 1 Faraday charge, the amount of substance deposited is equal to its equivalent mass. Like I have to give an example. If you pass 1 Faraday charge, the amount of chlorine deposited will be 35.5 gram because the chlorine equivalent mass is 35.5. So that indicates if you pass 96500 coulomb, the chlorine deposited will be 35.5 gram. So for 1 coulomb charge, the chlorine deposit will be 35.5 by 96500. So that is nothing but is your Z for the chlorine in NaCl, because this is the amount of substance deposited due to 1 coulombic charge. So what is the simple formula of Z? I can say this Z is nothing but is your equivalent mass by 96500. So this is the general formula we can use for the calculation of Z. So if I want to write this Faraday's first law, what can I write? I can write that is your W is equal to ZQ. I can write that is your, instead of Z, I can write also that is your equivalent mass by 96500 into Q. Like that I can write. Also, you can write what is the relation between the Q and the current. We know Q is your I into T. What is I? I is the current with unit of ampere, T is the time with unit of second. So this W can also be written as ZIT. So this is the first law of electrolysis, and I will tell how we'll apply it for calculation of W value, for the calculation of Z value, for the calculation of Q value on next video. Thank you.